I really appreciate the introduction. Event hosting and running events, a big passion of mine. And so I want to call attention to the title here, Time to Master the Art. My friends, a 20-minute presentation is not going to help you master the art. I'm going to give you tips and tricks and ideas and thoughts. But my event management experience runs the gamut from my smallest event, which unfortunately had one person show up. I did not do the marketing for that, but I had one person show up to a training event in Mobile, Alabama. My largest event was a beer festival in Fort Lauderdale, where I hosted 20,000 people. So I've run the gamut of different kinds of events. And the idea that I'm going to help you master something in 20 minutes is not realistic. But the concepts that I'm going to share with you are based on my experience hosting events, and just ideally give you some ideas tackling events that maybe you haven't leveraged in terms of marketing your event. So why host events in the first place? Well, to grow your business, right? Getting the word out about your organization is an everyday job. To stand out in a fast-paced environment, you must ensure people commit your brand to memory. One of the best ways to get people invested is to host events that provide important information and value. Events are a great way to grow your business or organization. You can build stronger relationships with your existing clients, customers, stakeholders, or members, find new ones, and even drive revenue and or donations. Not to mention, another benefit of running events is to grow your email marketing list. And that's actually going to be something you continuously hear me talk about, because I've learned that when I talk to particularly nonprofits, but when I talk to organizations that run events, one thing they don't actually think about is an event being a way to generate leads in terms of email and SMS text contacts. And so definitely going to pepper that throughout today's presentation. But why events in the first place? Well, we know, Constant Contact knows that 83% of brands say that event marketing consistently increases sales. And, I went back the wrong slide. And 70% of event audiences become regular customers after attending a marketing event or any kind of event. 56% of worldwide donors regularly attend fundraising events. Again, nonprofits, events are going to be right in your wheelhouse. If you're not already doing events, you're going to be doing them soon, probably. So let's take a look at our agenda and talk about what we're going to talk about in the next 20 minutes. So we're going to talk about exploring various types of events to boost your revenue or donations. The lion's share of today's presentation is going to be this middle one. We're going to talk about how to leverage event promotion for higher registrations and attendance, and then how to extend your success beyond the event. Because another piece that I've noticed a lot of organizations somewhat fail at is the post-event experience. And the post-event experience can be not as important as the live event, whether that's virtual or in person, but can actually help you grow your business or your nonprofit even further. So let's go ahead and dive into explore the various types of events that you might want to leverage. So again, these are just ideas for you. To plan a successful event, you need to start with your goal and what you want your end results to be. You need to create an event that helps you reach that goal, but also helps provide value to your audience. As you prepare for an upcoming event, you'll want to start by asking yourself, well, what's my goals? Write that down. What are we trying to achieve? Is it going to be to try to drive more revenue or build our contact list, which that always should be part of your goals? Build loyalty or goodwill? Educate your audience through industry or domain-specific knowledge, or maybe engage with your existing customers, trying to get them to upgrade or spend more with you, while all the while trying to get new customers and new members and new stakeholders into the fold. Now, this particular slide, a lot of these goals can overlap and often should. You don't want to just be focused on a revenue play. You don't want to just be focused on getting your brand out there or educating an audience. You want to mix and match so that you can start to not only build your brand equity and your familiarity with your audience to your brand, but also be leveraging some of these other goals. And one thing I'm going to try to do today is, guess what we're doing right now? We're doing an event. This event that you're attending, well, it started with goals, right? And we built all of our marketing and this presentation and what I'm saying to you right now and our post-marketing follow-up, that's all around the goal. And I'm actually trying to showcase something new. So I'm giving you some education, but I'm going to also be showing you something new in Constant Contact. We're actually following through a lot of these bullets right in front of you. So some ideas to build that brand equity, to build that awareness. When you have a goal to build awareness and equity, something like a VIP experience or food and beverage, lunch or dinner to show gratitude to your members, your stakeholders, a movie night, which can offer fun for the family while also establishing you as a credible brand, perhaps an end of the year event where you can reflect on the year, get people involved in your story, talking about what you're going to do next year. Lunch and learns, as I said, great way for you to share useful information, and networking events that give you an opportunity to connect your audience to other people that familiar are similar interests. Ways you can educate your audience. So you're attending one right now. Webinars are a very common way to educate audiences now, but so are workshops, and they're a fantastic way for business to business, B2Bs, to connect, but also great for pretty much any organization or industry. So we think about what you're going to train your audience on. Well, that could be a tool or a strategy, something related to your industry. Again, I'm doing this right in front of you. That's what I'm doing today. Some examples: if I'm a bakery, perhaps I have a specific recipe or something around holiday recipes or holiday menu items that I can teach people how to do. If I'm a distillery, perhaps I teach people how to mix cocktails. Barbecue restaurant, maybe I teach people how to create homemade barbecue sauce or some type of recipe unique to my business. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing knowledge, but I'm also expanding my brand equity, people becoming familiar with who I am and what I do. If I'm an artist, I'm going to teach people how to do a particular kind of painting or a particular kind of paint or a particular kind of media. Real estate. This is one, when I teach real estate agents, this is one we talk about quite a bit. Teach people how to do something that's going to improve their sale value, their home value, right? So that could be around curb appeal or lawn maintenance or roofing or electrical or painting. What I'm trying to illustrate here is all of you are experts in what you do. That's why you're in business. That's why you run a nonprofit, right? You have expertise. Bring that expertise out as education. You will not only inform your audience with something that's useful. Why is it useful to them? Because they registered for the event. So it's useful to them, but all the while you're establishing your credibility, you're building your brand, you're building your list, you're building potential sales and donations while you're educating people, which again is literally what I'm doing with you right now. Nonprofit, as I said, they're going to be one of the highest types of organizations that do events. Nonprofits do events all the time, so I feel like I'm preaching the choir a little bit. What would nonprofits do? Well, raffles, galas, concerts, 5Ks, fun runs. Those kind of experiences are a fantastic way for you to build awareness and drive donations and equity, brand equity. You can partner also, and this is something I see a lot of nonprofits not do, is partner with for-profits. Partner with for-profits. I'm actually showing a little tiny example of that today. Partner with a for-profit so that you can combine your efforts. They can help you get the word out, ideally, perhaps, maybe even sponsor you, but also grow your organizations together. One of the big reasons businesses would want to do an event is to raise funds or drive revenue. So what are some ways that we can do that? Well, when we're considering monetization of an event, what we first want to decide is, well, is the event going to be free or is it going to be paid? If it's a paid event, you can recognize revenue through the ticket sales, right? Or you can choose to offer maybe a premium or VIP experience, meaning that different kinds of experiences are going to increase your revenue based on that experience. So that beer fest, I'll tell a quick story, a true story. So I had that beer festival down in Fort Lauderdale, and I was charged with increasing revenue. And one thing that I was surprised at when I got hired for the role is that they did not offer a VIP experience in South Florida, of all places. And so we created a VIP experience with only a little bit of expenditure in terms of planning the event, and we increased our revenue 20% year over year just by offering that unique experience. And we were able to actually lower the overall per ticket costs for regular attendance. So we actually increased the attendance, grew the revenue through regular attendance, but also had this VIP experience, which really blew out our revenue, really brought in a lot of extra money. Other things you could do, as I said, you could sell sponsorships. Sponsorships are not unique to just nonprofits. You could sell a raffle merchandise or have some sort of paid takeaways. This also can be digital content. So you can do these kinds of things. You can employ these kinds of strategies, even if you're hosting a digital event. Other things you can do is you can elect to offer registrants the ability to purchase products or reserve auction items before the event and then have the completion of that at the event. You can also, as I said, seek sponsors to help build a connection either through your brand or product or cause or the event theme or directly to your audience. You can bring an entirely unrelated sponsor that provides value to your audience and sends messages on your behalf promoting the event. You can lean on your community. What is it that your organization can offer that no one else can offer, and see if you can tie it into your overall community. What I mean by community is people that do have a stake in your organization, whether those are customers or employees or volunteers. You just want to make sure that no matter what you do, you have the ability for people to opt in to your email marketing list. So no matter how people are engaged with you, you're growing your business beyond the event. And that brings me on how we can actually master event promotion. And this is going to be the part I'm most passionate about. So one thing I have seen consistently over my 12 years of Constant Contact, my 20 years of marketing, my 20 years in event marketing, is a tendency to do the same thing, the same way things have always been done. And coming back to Randy's comment about, one piece of feedback that you've given Alignable is, do you want to learn more how to grow your event registration and your event attendance? Well, one thing to do is make sure that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Now, you might expect me at Constant Contact to say, oh, make sure you do email marketing and then everybody else, you can ignore everything else. No, you want to have a cross-platform strategy. You want to be employing things that are going to help you spread the word. So firstly, the one here at the top is a landing page. A landing page is a one-page mini website. It's going to be your hub to your entire event experience. You want to make sure you're employing email marketing as a way to connect to people, but you also want to have social media that help you grow your overall profile and get more exposure. And what I've learned is that a lot of people just stop at the email and social media, or they'll do one or the other. Text and SMS is a fantastic way to reach people, and especially give a VIP experience to people that have opted in to receive text from you. So you could give them extra information. You could give them extra access. Texting is also a great way to communicate to people that have registered for the event if there's other steps they need to take, either before the event or even live at the event. And you can also incorporate print into your overall strategy as well. Offline marketing is still very, very valuable, and you can actually incorporate online marketing with offline marketing through things like QR codes. So let's break down these a little bit deeper. As I said, your landing page is your home. A landing page is a one-page mini website. Right now, why would you want to have a one-page mini website? Well, because it's extremely shareable. We want our audience to focus on our content, right? Now, certainly promote your event on your website. And there is a lot of logic into driving people to your website. But one challenge when you drive people specifically to a website is that they might leave the page and look at other things. They might get distracted. With a landing page, you can keep people focused. So some tips around running a good landing page. Obviously, share the description of your event, the what, the when, the why. You also want to have your call to action. So on this landing page, your call to action would be register now. You want to try to use real imagery. So avoid things like stock imagery. You want to try to use imagery, especially if you have imagery from previous events. Now, it's inherent. If you're going to use images from a previous event, make sure you have permission of the people that you took pictures of. And include social proof. So what is social proof? Social proof is going to be testimonials from people that attended previous events, testimonials that have a stake in your organization, believe in your product. Social proof is something you would share in your landing page as a way to encourage people of the value or teach people the value of your event. Email, of course, has a role to play. And in your email marketing, you're going to want to focus on those same key things, the what, the when, the where, but you're also going to want to have a little bit more of a relationship play, meaning that you're going to bring in a little bit more humanity into your marketing through pictures and through imagery. You're going to also want to have a very short piece of content. So one thing I'm sounding like a broken record. One thing I've seen a lot of organizations do is they try to make the email a landing page. And in this email, they have not just the what, the when, the where, but paragraph after paragraph after paragraph and 10 pictures of the event and video of the event and all of this content. The problem there is that people don't spend a lot of time reading an email. On average, a person spends about 9 seconds reading an email. So what we want people to do is get the gist of it and then click to our landing page. Click to somewhere else where they can learn more information and then make the determination to register. So we can do that by having just a little bit of information, maybe just a paragraph, maybe just a photo, maybe just a video, but then driving people to a landing page where they can see more videos, more images, they can see much more content and really evaluate whether or not they want to attend your event. Social has a place to play here too. So it's going to expand your reach as people share information about your event as they like, as they comment. You're obviously expanding your organization's marketing out to a larger audience. So it's a great way to capture whole new eyes. Now, one piece of strategy that you might want to employ is not just to promote your event through a landing page, but also to encourage people to register for your mailing list. Because if they're paying attention to you about your event, about your products, about your goods and services, you also may want to encourage them to sign up for your newsletter so that you can get more information out to them. Now, there is a way that through registration, you can encourage people to register, to sign up for your mailing list there as well. As I said, texting is a great way to treat people like they are VIPs, and they are. If somebody gives you permission to text them, they're inviting you into a very personal space, and it's a fantastic way to treat people as VIPs. So whether or not you have a VIP experience, meaning that you're actually selling a VIP experience, or you just want to treat a group of your contacts with a little extra love, text is a great way to do that. Text is also a great place to share some sort of special offer, something really unique that you may not share elsewhere. Lastly, with texting is a great way to encourage, as I said, people to interact with you live. One thing I see a lot of event organizers do is create live events through texting at the event, online during the event, getting people to interact through text, literally on site. As your event gets closer and closer, it's important for you to provide reminders to register. So Constant Contact, we generally will do a strategy of an announcement. These are emails, social media, these are texts, an announcement, a reminder, and a last chance reminder. So our announcement will come out approximately 2 weeks before an event. Now, for a digital event, it's usually 2 weeks. For a live in-person event, we usually go out a couple of months and start our marketing then. Then you want to send something out 24 hours before the registration opens, and then 1 hour before it actually opens. You want to be sending out those reminders, and you want to follow a similar strategy when the event is actually occurring, when it's a digital event. So you want to make sure you're reminding people regularly that it's about to occur. This is, again, you're experiencing what we've done in this presentation because you're here. You actually got to see all of these mechanisms in place as you registered for the event. Another thing you want to make sure you're conscious of is making sure that if you're going to use digital as a virtual event, make sure the tools you're using incorporate some of these strategies for follow-up. So I know GoToWebinar, Zoom is what we're using now. We'll do automatic reminders for you as the event comes up closer. The main thing to remember is that if you're doing promotions for an event, some people will see the marketing for the event, but they're going to be distracted. They get a phone call, the baby cries, the dog's barking, someone's at the door. Maybe it's just not the right time for them to make that decision. Maybe they're thinking through their finances or whether they'll be in town at that particular time. So you want to be consistent with your marketing. Don't rely on just one kind of platform to get your message out, and don't rely on just one message to get the announcement out. Last but not least, you want to extend the experience beyond the event. So the biggest failure I see in small business and nonprofits when it comes to event is not leveraging the post-event experience. You want to be sending out an email post-event saying thank you and sharing resources from the event. Again, you're going to see this kind of experience here on Alignable as we share links throughout today's presentation and beyond. And in fact, we're encouraging you to come to a presentation tomorrow as well. These are all strategies that we're employing that I'm teaching you right now that we're employing right this second, and I'll be employing tomorrow. You can also ask for feedback and ask people to subscribe. Again, we want to make sure we're leveraging the attention that we're getting in promoting the event as people register for the event and after the event, trying to get them to give us permission to email market them, because then we can email market to them in the future, or we can collect text to phone numbers, permission to text, and we can text message them in the future. Once you have somebody's attention, you want to retain it, because that's going to be something that is going to pay off for you in future events. So if I go back to Randy's comment about feedback from you, that you wanted to learn how to grow attendance for your event, make sure you're always thinking about the next event when you're in this event, right? If you're running an event right now, think about how you can leverage this event to get more sales in a couple of months, to get more attendance at your next event, to get more contacts so you can email marketing them, to get more social media followers so that you can market your next event, your next product, whatever it is. Once you have somebody's attention, don't let it go. Another strategy is to ask people their opinions. So you may want to survey your audience post-event so that you can become a better marketer and a better event host. So what are some things that you'd want to learn? Well, of course, did they enjoy the event? What were they most interested in? What would they attend an event or refer you in the future? And I want to zero in on that second idea, which is learning what they enjoyed the most. Because by learning what they enjoyed the most, or what they learned the most, or what the most valuable takeaway was, by learning about what they found most valuable, that's going to help you in a couple of ways. One, you're going to be able to employ that kind of content in your future event, right? If people really gravitated towards one particular takeaway or one particular concept, or one particular thing you did at your event. Perhaps the next time you do an event, you do more of that. But this is also bridging into the idea of segmentation, of taking a large group of people and cutting them up into smaller groups. So what I could do is I could take the people that were most interested in this and most interested in that and most interested in this other thing, and I can target market to them about this thing or that thing or the other thing, right? So that as I'm moving forward, trying to grow revenue, trying to grow donations, trying to grow attendance, trying to grow attention, I'm giving them relevant content. How do I know it's relevant? Because they told me in a survey. Now, we do suggest something Constant Contact does when we survey our audiences: keep your questions short, no more than about 3 or 4. You don't want to bombard people with a very lengthy survey, especially after an event. Try to gather the most important feedback to help you become a better marketer, to help you run a better event in the future. And you probably want to leverage automation. So automation is simply sending out an email, a text, or both, post-registration, post-event. So you could create a series of emails to go out before the event, giving people an idea of the time, the date, traffic situations, if they're going to have to pay for parking, other kinds of useful information if it's a live event. Post-event, you can give people follow-up of course, thanking them for attending, asking them for that survey, share more features and benefits of your organization, also encourage them to follow you on social media as well if they haven't already, get further donations or testimonial about the event. All of these things can be done automatically. So the second the event ends, you can actually trigger off these emails to go out for you, because anybody that runs a regular event knows that as soon as that event ends, the last thing you want to think about is the event. So try to set up your marketing to go out automatically for you so you don't have to think about it. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring Randy back on. We're going to talk to you a little bit about Constant Contact's community group on Alignable, and then I'm going to do a brief demonstration of Constant Contact's event tool to let you see under the hood some of the things and some of the ways that you can use these strategies to help you become a better event planner and event runner. Randy?